Hey there, it's Laucivol with Stellar Dragons. Um, so we're not gonna do too much insane stuff today and all that. As you can hear, I don't have any music on and all that, but I don't really feel like listening to music. And it's kind of one of those days where it's the schedule got funky and you know how that stuff, blah 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 blah. You can kind of see what we got going on in the bottom left here. I should move it up in this particular one because I'm using a different layout just for the funsies of it. Well, when I say for the funsies, it was more just say like because it's kind of going to be a little bit more minimum, we'll say, on what we're working on. It's all the way over there. We're going to pull that over here and it'll make it make more sense. What we're playing with is, as we do, you can see my messiness in the background. Let me go ahead and kill that. Um, we're basically just playing around with Stable Diffusion some more. And as I said before, we're probably not going to get too intense, just because obviously running a little bit late, you know, that sort of thing. Um, but we're going to take a look at it and we're going to kind of see, you know, the immediate needs must kind of work with what we're looking at. So, and again, it's just one of those that's going to be a little bit less of my normal sort of like, you know, going crazy and trying to figure stuff out and all that. A little more chill today, a little bit less, you know, stuff on the screen with what we're looking at. So there's stable diffusion, right? Um, as always, this is indeed for Stellar Drive Games. As you can see our website there. So, um, yeah. What am I doing? What am I doing? Let's go ahead and move this up here. About what I think about like an impromptu throwing this in. Like the screens that I generally use are a little bit more complicated. So because I've got like 10 screens open, stuff like that. There we go. I think that makes a little bit more sense, doesn't it? Be like right there. I'm just again today is gonna be one of those just making things up on the fly because I'm not feeling like doing my normal thingies. We'll move not that. Move that a little bit over to the right. I like my background now. I made using a little bit of DALL-E and the general basic effects on OBS. I know it's where it scrolls seamlessly. It's neat to me. Anyway, well, it's not even like a toot my own horn. I just think it's neat. That's why I did it. Well, so it goes without saying. Well, yeah, but you know. All right, that should be a little bit better. Better. All right, so let's go ahead and back to focus on what we're looking at. Although, you know, I'm gonna let myself get quickly distracted on something. Now that I have it open. Although it's only a few days because we did our infogram setup on um, Friday. So all this stuff's only, you know, it's Friday, Saturday. It's 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Something like that. But yeah, so all the nights are currently, the night stuff is all currently, here, let me pull that down there. So you can see all the night stuff is currently in the process of coming out. And we have the marshals immediately at hand. Honestly, this is kind of disparaging. Let me take a cross look at something. Seeing that the total visitors kind of like that downward trend right there. I don't know. Actually, I don't actually know if it's a trend though. And this is you know rolling 28 days, so it's still comparative in a manner. Yeah, it's down a bit from still another down like 10 from last Friday. Hopefully, it'll trying to recover. It looked like. Wait, is that last Friday's? I'm not sure now. Let me take a look at something here on Discord where I put all of my steady stuff, all of our steady stuff on there. Um, let's see. This was on the 2nd. Whoa, boy. There should be 2 more here. There's not. Uh-oh. Crap. I know I did them. Shoot. Give me a second. I made a mistake. The 9th. Good thing I have a backup of stuff. And then 17th is last week's, right? Yeah, my bad. Because apparently I didn't finish up stuff. A little bit not lazy but complacent about stuff, and those are the numbers. I mean, because the primary reason to push those numbers that I record is the sake of the team to kind of see it. So it's that sort of thing. So but yeah, and then my own running posts numbers stuff. So all right, so yeah, so we'll see. Right now, and again, hopefully we'll see some sort of recovery from that one because it's kind of disparaging to see it. And we're gonna have the 8th roll off, so it's gonna drop. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, that's got visitors 18, but that was 74 visitors, 50 visitors, 34, 36, 30. But then again, this week, of course, is going to be a little bit low in comparison to the previous because it's only midway through the week. But 18 times 2, we'll say 20, 40 at the current rate. So hopefully we're pretty much on point. We're going to lose a bunch more visitors on the numbers from last bit, which kind of hurts that. It's gonna look even worse. That's cool. That's cool. Maybe it's just how it goes, right? Ebbs and flows. Although more impressions though. I know it says down, but from what we recorded last week, it was at 32. It was at 3250, which itself was an uptick, and so impressions are now back up to 35, 3.5 even now. So we're getting close to where we were at the start of the month. So it's okay. Total clicks though looks like that's down. Is it? I mean, it says it's down here. Yeah, it's down from where it was, but again, it kind of has the impression that that's going to go up over the next few days. I mean, it's 51 now. It was 55 last week, so if we don't get 4 more clicks over the next 2 days, 2 days, then well, it is what it is. In fact, actually, you can kind of see. Yeah, no, actually, look at that. Look at that. So it's looking like it's starting at 83, 90, 82. And we had a little bit of an uptick and then it kind of went down. And these are our impressions. So these are basically how many people are seeing our stuff as it kind of rolls out. And then it went up. So it dipped somewhere here. Yeah, we saw it slide down and then went to 46 and it dropped hard on the 17th. And then it's increasing. It's kind of leveling off here, but I think it's gonna kind of sit there for it. So again, these are over the past 28 days rolling, but yeah, it should be all right. Let's go with the search counts. Just take a quick look. Normally I don't, as I said before, this is a Friday conversation or a Saturday conversation, right? But I just feel like looking over it right now. It caught my attention. So, and this is kind of just chatting, so it's like, I might as well. So yeah, see, even now, if I go with the rolling 28 days, see it's 3.64K, which means it's actually gone up a fair amount. Yeah, this is interesting to me for some reason. Impressions 120. Yeah, but impressions 225 and clicks 2. It's kind of, we're starting to kind of see a little bit of it waffled. I mean, it kind of wobbled pretty hard there, but then it looks like it's starting to try and, in fact, we'll see that the clicks will go up because it's 0 on the Wednesday that's previous. The Thursday is 1 and Friday is 1. So the chance that today is going to be 0 as well with these current trends, is kind of limited. So We've been seeing 3. So like I said, it's looks like it's on the uptick. Go ahead and check our pages. Sitemap 3. Oh, 3 pages, aren't it? Oh, okay. The Dragon Shaman and 2 Battle Dancers. Well, temporary processing error. Okay. Well, that's interesting. And that's like a temporary processing error. What does that even mean? You tell me. All right, so while that's doing that thing there, let's go ahead and go back to our first tab that we're actually trying to focus a little bit on. Let me get back to my images over here in Dolphin. And 3.5 images and Marshall builds. And let's see. Not you. I'm gonna go down with the bottom one because, or should I go with this one? I think I'm gonna go with the bottom one. Or no, actually, let's go with the general one. Um, go with, which should the prompt be there? Um, there we go. Troop commander. Let's go. So it's going to immediately fail. And the reason why it's going to immediately fail, because somebody has it set up to automatically go to scripts, but did not, because he's silly, did not put the required thing there for it to work. That is to say, the script information. Let's see, let's find where it is on this other screen. By the way, this is why I generally put like all of the screens on there, but like I said, today just feels like I should be a little bit more streamlined with how it's all set up. I feel like honestly, and I need to figure out like what a good way to model this is, because I feel like that what I had or what I have been doing, and I'm not sure if I should stop doing it or what, but what I have been doing is kind of overwhelming to people. I feel like it is. The problem is that right now I'm, off clicking off a screen that has like relevant information on it, but it's also a lot of information on it too. It makes sense. And so I feel like that a little bit of overwhelm, kind of occurs because, I'm watching people join and leave and join and leave and all that. And come into the view and not. And I see it and I go, okay, could it be because of what? Because it's not like I get any direct feedback. Oh, what? Oh, connection timed out. What is this? It's not that I don't get any or it's that I don't get any feedback, I don't know why. I don't have a clue. Let's see. Let's go with first and foremost, let's update it. So sudo pacman tech you the sudo thing. We'll upgrade. Yeah, let's go. It'll take a minute to upgrade that because I'm going to have to reboot it because it looks like a kernel update as well for Arch and also in NVIDIA. So, and the graphics card we're running is a what is it, GeForce 2070 or something like that. There's a little bit on the older side, which means it limits what I can kind of do with this card or with this system. I'll be, when finances settle out, and they are my personal stuff. When they settle out well enough, I'll be definitely investing in a more robust solution for that problem. One argument is to use like remote, basically rent a server type thing and all that, rent a space. for it if I'm going to want it to be a self-hosted type dealio that I have access to the to root and all that stuff. But I'm going to say on the other hand, personally, I'm more of a fan of like if I'm going to be hosting an asset like this, I'm going to want to have it, sitting over there. I'm going through like 3 walls, but sitting in a spot that I have physical control and access and all that stuff as well. So, because, well, I just like the idea of it, and it's one of those ones where like, does it absolutely need to be that way? For functionality. In fact, it's arguably more functional and cheaper at this stage to engage into the, as I tongue in cheek call everything as a service, EAAS, um, sort of models. But the problem is that I fundamentally speaking abhor them. And I abhor them because it makes lazier users, it makes lazier developers, it makes basically everybody more dependent upon kind of system builds and such like that. Well, I mean, yeah, fine. You wouldn't be in worst case scenarios, right? You wouldn't be um so I want to say this. You wouldn't be like running like in the let me put it this way. In the apocalypse type scenario, right? You wouldn't be running freaking stable diffusion, right? You wouldn't be running that server, that file server with um 10 billion freaking gigs of whatever, or would you? Because the thing is that weirdly enough, and I say all that, and I go, or would you? I say, well, but here's the thing: is that knowing how to get those running and having that skill set, and then knowing how to, shall we say, rebuild that element, at least on a certain level, like functionally wise, um, barring certain hypothetical doomsday sort of situations, right? Those ones being the ones where everything is just gone, like, or where a solar flare type event, or a um, that sort of event where that takes out everything, right? But in most of the ones where it's like, yeah, say the grid gets cut off or whatever, having a working idea of how these things would actually functionally be set back up is, I would say, arguably pretty useful, or at least conceptually useful. It's the sort of thing where it's like, if you know things that other people don't, and it's a harking back to nicer days, um, effectively, because of the mental requirement, shall we say, of learning things like this, puts one in a better position. Now, one might argue that's wishful thinking, and that it would be better in those, if one's concerned about or preparing for this sort of hypothetical, it would be better to directly work up towards skill sets related to these sort of things. And I would say that's fair. I would say that that is fair, save one big thing, which is the skill set that I've already developed, the one that I already have, happens to predominantly be in the technical fields, in the technical stuff, right? And while I can refocus towards other types, shall we say, my back won't, my knees won't. And I'm not in the worst shape in the world, to be fair, but I'm definitely not in the best shape in the world either. And I mean, like, physically, we say, requiring additional support for physicality stuff. So the one thing that I can always offer, and especially as I start to get a little bit older, is the learning in the mind and that sort of thing. What behooves me ends up being, well, using my head. You see. At least that's my line of thinking. So therefore, it's if I can have, shall we say, these resources and have that, one of the things that would definitely live on that would be like survival material, right? Which again, there's an argument to say that having a hard version is superior in many ways. Having a digital, a soft version on a local source, um, so long as you have the ability to, record it physically at some point for when it does finally run out of power, is a one of those optimum paths. Although a buddy of mine, who I don't know if he still is on the road to go for the EE type thing. So what I bring that up more of this is his area of interest, as it were. Brings up a point saying or indicating making use of what is basically the alternator of a motorcycle or something like that. Because due to the nature of how it works, you can pretty much freewheel it using water, basically have higher hydro power, and because of the quality of the material, I mean, on the RPMs that you're pushing it to and all that, by running it, you pretty much have an indefinite charge of a fair amount of power. Um, Not a terrible idea, all said. So, um, so that's kind of where I'm at with that. And like I said before, it's just one of those things. All right. So on this, we've done the requests for all three that are not indexed. One of them, it actually said the reason why. I'll click back in it just to see it. The reason why, that page is indexed now. Okay, well, it like instantly indexed it. Okay. So maybe it was old cached. I don't know. I mean, I told it to do it, and it's just like, oh yeah, by the way, it's indexed. Sorry about the delay. Maybe I just got lucky timing. I don't know. We'll hit the validate fix button, see what it does. So yeah, well, that's cool. Two of them like immediately indexed. Last crawled was in August. Last crawled was in July. So, and then it did a recheck on them, and it found them that they were not indexed. So I thought I'd push the button. All right, anyway, all known pages. But affected pages, what the heck? This was not, it was incarnate was on the list. That web page. Oh, what the freak? That web p. Why are those .web p? Wait, why are those .web p? It's interesting. Anyway, yeah, it detected the healer, right? That's kind of not okay. That it's like, oh, I saw that you have this page. What are you hiding from me? Like this is actually like this is I told you no index. I told you no looky at those pages. And yet you look at those pages. It's guys, can you not be sketch? Can you not be sketch? Like, I mean, I know you are what you are at all. Can you not be sketch? Like legit. I mean, I know they have to be, they're required to be, they are what they are. Nonetheless, it's kind of frustrating. All right, so let's take a look here. Huh. 3 clicks for searching for stellar dragons. That's neat. Draconic auras, or dragon shaman, dragon warrior, and of course, dread necromancer is super pop. The thing is that this is dragon shaman, dragon warrior, and it's like it's technically not an SEO optimized name, and they actually search for something that's not super on point, but okay. And then Dragonfire Adept is pretty popular too. There's the five builds popping up there as being primary thing that's pulling in there. 5 builds being there. Yeah, of course. And my personal favorite, the Barbarians, which are currently actually they're in processes. I think actually the Barbarians all got done with their corrections. First click on the gestures, yay. Oh, so the new stuff's not generally getting clicked on. I suppose that's probably why. There's probably a reason why. All right. Barbaric builds the 9.1, Thor Dragons 20.4, and Dragonfire Adept at 16.6, and Draconic Aura at 28. But people are getting that far down apparently. At least some people are because they're smart. Yeah, see that drop down. That dropped down from the last time I looked, but we're still barely above like the one before. So we've fallen past it. We peaked at 60 and then dropped, and it's okay. I mean, it's kind of disheartening to see that, but I have a feeling that we had basically an artificial boost at one point. It's kind of correcting. So, um, excuse me. For the sake of argument, let's go ahead and check colordragons.com. Well, 10 clicks of the once great. Now, mind you, it's pretty much abandonware at this point, but the last 12 months, you can see what happened. And I see this peak though, and I say, man, maybe we shouldn't have, you know, walked away. But yeah, March, like we were doing well, and then they did their little thing, and it just crumpled. It didn't even like gracefully went. It didn't gracefully peter out. No, it just went. And then we started to kind of reclaim those impressions for a bit, but then it just. Then I basically we completely refocused away from this to a different site. And so the funny part is that I had basically had it where our Stellar Dragons media attempt was pushing in the directions of the Stellar Dragons site. What's interesting is that we're still getting clicks through there, but for now, it's de facto to our Pathfinder builds now, which is just basically kind of a holding place for our Pathfinder builds at the minute. So, and if I go to the post site map, we're going to see that it's got a bucket ton that are not indexed. There's actually a whole bunch of the D&D 3.5 on that, but they're sitting kind of in the background. So, but yeah, it's kind of abandoned. I may choose either to revise it or revitalize it or to just like straight kick it to the wayside. So, I may not. I don't know. But in any case, here we are in Stellar Dragon Games now, which again, fundamentally makes more sense for us to be called that in any case. Let's go ahead and take a look see at SEMrush. Apparently, I'm just kind of doing that right now. That's what I'm in the mood for. Just look at stats. So, while we're running these guys. So, let's see. Well, that's for Stellar Dragons, which is losing health and not doing. Yeah, I typoed it once and it says, oh, well, you're Stellar Dragon Games, right? No, Stellar Dragon Games. All right, so you can see actually, even over the course of the past few days since I last looked, because it was at like 5 or 6 or something like that. Oh, wait, never mind. As you were. I got excited too soon. My bad. So yeah, you can see that it dropped pretty significantly. It got up to 11 organic traffic, and it dropped down to 1, and now it's up to 2. It looks like it's recovering though, so I'm not gonna panic because you can see how like our keyword swarm started to dip, and then we're now in recovery. So that's looking like it better than what it was. Who are you? You are contourhealer.com. D&D online. Where are we? Where are we? So there's Contour Healer. We're the purple one? Oh, we're over here. Oh wow, I blinked and we passed by these guys, the dndonline.de and who are you? Contour Healer. Yeah, D&D handbooks, D20 handbooks. And I think I can get. I mean, we'll catch up to their keywords, but I don't think we're going to catch up to their traffic anytime soon. I hope we do, but because we're starting to get a little bit of the aura around us. We were at bigger at one point, so hopefully it'll get there. Um, you know, see the the D&D chick WordPress.com. If that's what we're struggling to compete with, we're screwed because I can't do that. That's just not how I am. I find it interesting though that the D&D D20 handbooks at WordPress.com is a specific um, site there. But let me look at something here. Um, all right. Oh, what's that one? Nah, I shouldn't open that. Let's see. A little too political for this context. I actually want to see. Let's take a look. D20 handbooks dot wordpress.com, right? Is that what it is? D20 handbooks.wordpress.com. Okay. I'm curious what the site is. It's no longer being updated as of 2019. Oh, it's this site. Okay. Back up a little circle. Most are half finished, but overall, I hardly play 3.5 anymore. We should play 3x systems, so I won't be taking the site down, but I'm no longer. Sorry if it more. But the site gets time traffic, so if you want, leave a comment question about a classic concept. What's this one? Like these, like this fella, whoever they are, right? And I don't know who they are and whatever, but they this person I'm just reading it. They're about a little about. Yeah, so they're it's just one of those, like, it's a really simple whatever page, and it's like they're trying to do something here, and it's kind of like you know kind of like what we're doing, but they didn't get very far, and yet they have, or did they? No, they didn't get very far at all. I do like though. I should take this. I do like this. This, like, the way they've got this base classes thing, and then they've got the, which I kind of am emulating a little bit, but not very well. And I did do something like it, but again, I don't think I did it very well. I mean, they did a handful, little intro, kind of like one of those, like, here's this stuff of how they're advantageous. But we're more specific. Like, they're given like these. I mean, they're specific, right? And give their reasons and all that. But we're more like, here's a build. So I honestly think that we fit the inquiry better um, than they do, and I think they're doing a great job. Other than the fact that it's not a maintained site, but I really do think that we do better um, of meeting the inquiry. That being said, obviously I'm a bit biased, but just trying to think of maybe I should take a page from their book. D20 handbooks. The thing that I don't like though is that their name is D and D 3.5 handbook compendium, D20 handbooks. Like I don't like the fact that those don't match. Like, this should, for me, it feels like that this should be matching D20 handbooks. It should be like D&D 3.5 handbook. It's not even like handbooks though. It's like it's even a bit on the misleading side. And I don't mean this offensively, by the by. I again, overall, I appreciate what they've done here. Like, I've done more than just skim over it. And it's at one point, it was a while ago when I was doing like initial opposition research type stuff, and it's like I like what they've done, but I don't know, you know, it's the sort of thing where there's, I don't know. Yeah. Hmm. It just seems like it's a lot there versus, like what our equivalency is like character builds, and then, okay, Scion, Factotum, and this is like to the glossaries, right? This is like about the character builds. Although I've got a broken link here, which I don't like. Uh, I'll have to fix it later because again, I'm just kind of being lazy right now. But yeah, where if we go to the glossary and it's like, now maybe I should change it from glossary. Maybe that's one of my problems. Um, we should change it to something a little bit more clear. What would be clearer to call it? The thing is that it won't always be built. Oh, you know what though? Just trying to think of the way I want to deal with it. I think of the way I want to deal with it. I think that's one thing that's going wrong here. Oh, sorry about that. I think that's one thing that's going wrong here is that, you know, um, is that I have this character builds thing here. Let's see. Excuse me. Let's see. Trying to think that through because it's something I haven't really thought about in a while. Um, because maybe what I should do. What are you leading to? Oh, you're leading to character builds. So you're actually leading to glossary character builds yourself, but doing it in that way. Whereas you're doing what? Glossary. You're just doing straight glossary. Hmm. Okay, so what if I go, is it edit category? Hmm. I'm thinking that one through because that's an interesting sort of scenario there. It's like it's because it's the category, right? It's listing it out. Hmm. Whereas if I go to glossary, and it does do the thing I want to do, honestly. Um, I think that I should actually remove the glossary tab, or rather, well, I would say rename it, but I'm going to remove it. And character build, go straight to glossary. I know it kind of strikes me as bad, but the thing is that like we do that, right? And then glossary is now gone. What's a glossary? Like most people aren't gonna see it that way, right? They're not gonna make it make sense. If I go to character builds, I mean, there's character builds, D&D 3.5 character builds. Let me see if I edit page. It's probably just a call over to the generative thing, which means I need to go, yeah, just the generate code glossary. Okay. Just kind of fundamentally thinking about this one. Let's see, let's go back there. Because like I think that might be one of the reasons why we're like losing people there. Because they're having site navigation issues, if you will. It's hypothetical at best, but all right, let's go ahead and change this nah. You know, I want to finish what I'm working on. That's going to be in one of those for sure. That you know, I'm going to crop this one even further. Give a sec, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's one of those like, what's the intention of this character or this picture? Is it an action scene or is it a, you know, what type of scene is it? Um, all right, we'll close that. And we're actually gonna move that over there and see if it's better as the basically flip them around sort of thing. All right, next up, what time are we at? Ooh, fortunately, the lost time does lost time. But I want to see if I can go to glossary here on this guy, because like the one problem I have is like listing it out from like um in the manner I did is kind of overwhelming and not very helpful. I mean, it's not completely unhelpful, but it's not very helpful, you know. It's a glossary archive. Page ID of the glossary, page ID of the page you would like to use as a glossary archive page is used by the alphabetical archive glossary widget. If it box a new page, you have to manually remove old pages. Well, I don't really want to do that right now. Let's see. Glossary class. That's fine, I guess. Abbreviations of term title, allow for alternate meanings. I just feel like there's something I'm missing that would do this. I'm not sure what it is. Footnotes and display settings. I want to experiment with this. Um, I want to see what happens there. So now if I go to start running games, I know I already have the one open, but I want to look again. So we'll see how it turns out. So all right. So and if I go to say shadow wall. Actually, I should probably have it as 5. But if I scroll down beyond it being a hideous mess, um, please work, please work. No, didn't work. Hmm. So I have a specific idea I want here. Okay. But one thing though, that should say 5. Did I properly save it? But it should be 5 because in prep for like certain other things, right? Let's see. Where's that one? What did I just do? Maximum display footnotes 5. Display of terms as footnotes. Uh, display categories in footnotes. Display set a full definition. Footnote definition title. All right. Save change. All right. Let's see what happens now. I don't know if our example is a good example because it's currently in this like in between state. I want to see if it'll do the thing I want it to do. And it sucks because basically what I want it to do is I want it to have, I don't know why gestures on there. I want it to have, oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Not perfect. And I will admit that, but beautiful. That is actually what I want. Because that was actually the entire intention there, was having them as footnotes. Because now, literally me 5, and then either go there, or hit the footnote link, which is kind of a little disorienting because like that'll open it. But yeah, that's still in the right ballpark. That is actually great. I don't like the fact that it doesn't do it on the single ones that appears, but as I said, our focus is less on the single ones, like this Mist Guardian, right? Um, Great, cool build. The black rose. I did a black rose, night black rose, or black rose. It's actually supposed to be black rose night. The night black rose build. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Let's see. So yeah, they're doing it. Look at that. Look at that. That is freaking fantastic. That's actually what I've been trying to do for the entire friggin' time. That is awesome. That is actually awesome. Like I'm ecstatic actually. That's precisely what I was looking for. Um this part, leaves certain things to be desired because those are actually full links when they shouldn't be full links. But let me edit post. I want to see what's setting those as links. Um mm, break. Actually, yeah, unlike that. Clear another formatting. Oh, it's fine. All right, let's save it. I don't know what linked it though. Hmm. Oh well. Let's just see what happens. I really don't want to have to go through and tell my dudes to. Yeah, but look at this. Look. Look at that. That is exactly what I want, actually. Exactly what I want. All right, so hmm, that is awesome. That took me way too much effort. Like I stalled way too long on getting there. But look at this. Look at that. Like Hospitalier, Master of Life and Death, Medic, Mother Bear, New Life, and then it shows it every single time they mention it. But I'm okay with that. Now this part, there's some I'm losing some images still, but that's a future me problem. Look at this. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Given again, I lost some images. I lost a few images, but that is all right. I don't even know why I didn't think of that before, or I did. Evidence suggests, but yeah, yeah, nice. All right, unironically, the sort of thing that we were looking for. Now, originally, I had him kind of like do a pop out thing, but there was strong complaints about it being too kind of. It kept on glitching on me, to be honest, and just a whole bunch of like meh things. So, but yeah, try to just type in an update there. All right, let's see. All right. Just needing to make sure to mention and get a staff involved or a staff invited to the right bed because it seems that I forgot stuff. All right, so yes, so that's pretty neat. That actually, I'm actually super stoked that I figured it out, like over and above everything else. Because that was a big QOL deal for user base. So because now you can see like, hey, here's your yeah. Did I let's see? Do I have a thread for this particular thing? I did at one point. I know I had a like a glossary thread or something like that. Pardon me for that, but I just had to scan keyboard stuff. Because I am actually like, even though again, physically I'm too exhausted to really like whoop, you know. But oh my Goodness gracious. That's weird. Oh, I went with the design, not the. I need to edit post. So, yeah. So I'm kind of. Let's see one other thing. All right. So, well, I'm now overjoyed. I mean, look at that. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. Um, it may look like, oh well, there's all this more information there, right? But they're footnotes. Like they're footnotes. Like it's a yeah, okay, we're doing it. Tempest 4. Oh, we're in the Tempest, and I have to hit back. It breaks everything. That's not a me problem. But yeah, so now I need to fix that. But yeah, that's so. Oh, ew. This glossary page. But I have a choice between either going through and fully editing that page, which needs to be done, or just doing that and finding out it doesn't work. But no, it'll work. It'll work. I have faith. You see, it'll work. Not the best picture in the world, but got a little blurry in the translation. But yeah, way blurry in the translation. What the crap is going on here? Oh, this didn't get the new treatment yet. Oh, oh, fudge. Um, what the crap? Also, this is one of the ones that I have to go through and what? Go through and weird. Okay, this yeah, that I have to go through and like completely redo. Um, because there or the image wise. For one thing, that image was particularly ish. I mean, it was cool looking for me at the time, but it wasn't great, compared to my current stuff. It does not hold a candle. Um, Interesting that it does that. Must be a limitation of the thing, but that's okay. So yeah, so that is so neat. That is so neat, so neat. And again, my apologies for kind of fawning over it right now. It's just I I'm, I'm beside myself. We'll put it that way. I'm actually beside myself because that particular problem, um, like unless if you've been with me, been here and like been watching and all that for since before I was streaming, the contents of the materials and stuff like that. Um, I've been looking for that particular solution there for a long time, a very long time indeed. Green hair. I'm and maybe but maybe I saw it before. The funny part is maybe I saw it before, but I didn't think about it. I didn't digest it. I didn't like understand it. I mean, it's possible. And I do mean that like as in when I say possible, I mean it's probable that I didn't like fully get grasp the idea that would fit there. Or it could be that when we still had them in the mega posts, that solution wouldn't have worked. But having them in the separate posts means that it does work very, very well and straight in line with actually what I was searching for. So it's I I don't even know. Like I said before, I'm actually beside myself right now because that's I don't even know. Like anything could go the way that it wants to right now. I wouldn't really care. because of just how exciting that particular um, that just ugh. Sorry, I can't even like fully think straight right now because of just how fantabulous that is. Absolutely fantabulous. All right, let's see. Because I want to take the outside and turn it into an open field. I don't know if point two is good enough. Um, is that a real error? I think that's just a fake error or an old error. See what happens. I don't know. Again, I don't know if point two is good enough. We probably need to bump up the denoising strength by like half a can or something. 3/4. Because like the original one, he's like looking over this huge thing, and so I think that I want to take the same character, manipulate it a little bit, maybe flip it. Oddly enough, after giving it a different background and then going from there. Mm. All right. I hate to cut and run, especially, but it's the sort of thing where that that's actually, I mean, I hope it's generally well received by those that need to see it, because like that is something I had been wanting to make work for a while. I'm it's gonna make it so that I have to go through and either renegotiate certain things or like put put it on somebody else, like basically put it on somebody else's plate, like go through all the posts and just fill the first instance. I don't actually like what I did here, by the way, but I was being lazy. So, um, but yeah, go through and like, because the thing is that the first instance should be by the article at a glance. It shouldn't be a link. It should be the footnote. So, also article at a glance. It's more of a build at a glance, to be honest with you. Excuse me. More of a build at a glance to just be straight out, but that's okay. All right. So, overall, right now, a lot of what we're looking at is um, getting these guys to do that. Wonder if I can get away with that thought process. Just had a completely random. I'd have to honestly, I'd have to spend some time because I'm wondering if I can do some like crazy stuff with like where I can get access to the Stable Diffusion server via my phone, so I can do like or something like that, but where I can like give it to what I basically tell it to do what I need it to do, and then I can keep running it over all. Sorry, just the line of thinking caught me. See, the problem is that these are all um like you can batch do a lot of things, but oh, that's cool. Caption, create flip copies, auto size crop. Each image is center cropped with automatically chosen within sight. Autofocus, focal crop point, split oversized image, code former or GFP GAN, which those are like face checkers. but there's not like a batch process image to image. I suppose it makes sense because it'd be way more complicated, right? Mm. I'm just trying to think if there's some way I could or automate the automation because the thing is that ultimately at the end of the day, like what ends up happening is the ultimate end of what ends up happening is that at this point, they end up where I'm looking at them and making judgment calls on what I like, which is how that's supposed to be. And then from there, if it needs any more what it needs any more manipulation or whatever, according to what I want, um, then I can do that. Okay, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Um, so it's like bringing them upsized, and I am not sure what's even happening there. Let's see, 22. What time is it? 22, 21. Yeah, that's weird. All right, let's go ahead and interrupt it. Kill it straight off because it's not working the way it should. It's 13. 13. What time is it? 22, 23. Why does it say 22:14? No, whatever. Um, yeah, you can see it there. I was seeing that in the background and on a different thing, and it's definitely not what that's supposed to be like, right? So let us see. It's probably a direct result of just resize latent upscale. So um, let's see. I believe it's resize and fill. Empty space with images colors. Uh, well, let's see what happens. Alrighty. No, wait a second. I better wait a second. So let's see what happens. Uh, but I'm also going to change this to like 8 for this process for the next one. So 0.2 is my first try. And because again, I don't think 0.2 is going to be enough to actually change that. I'm just curious how far it'll take it. Should have just disabled the XY, but it's too late. We're already here. So yeah. It turned the people into. All right, let's go ahead and cancel it. You'll see it kind of sort of. It literally turned the people into like little like sheaves of grain or something like that. All right, so at 0.8, and that should be good for the intention there. Like put it up to 0.8, and then shoot, probably not resize to 1024 doing this. We'll see how it handles it, but I'm gonna end up dropping it down to 512 for our where we're gonna go with this one. Because basically the way that I'm gonna work it is that we're gonna do 512 for this part, and then flip it. Well, actually resize by 1. In other words, don't change it. And then flip it. Yeah. Well, let's see what happens. I'd be surprised if it doesn't error or no. All right, it passed. Yeah, so it didn't really, no, 1657. So, pardon my beeping. There we go, 18. Yeah, 18, it just made it blurry. Made it blurry. I don't know why I hit the button instead of hitting the interrupt button. Because like basically, it it just basically just made it blurry. And maybe I'm pushing the button too fast. I'm gonna reduce it to resize by 1. Yeah, you can see both of them that were finished there ended up just making the background blurry rather than making it into a um, uh, open field. I want us to just see if I can like change the background kind of consistently. It's currently the process there is just trying to see if I can. So here's the fun part: is that right now I can itemize out. Um, I can kind of play that and easily get access to where there's the background. So like if I just took a picture or had it do a separate sort of thing where it's like a if I took an example of something that was like a grassy knoll in the background or whatever, I could do it. Or an open field. But right now it's not playing well with trying to make it that way. And I'll figure it out. I think I'm close because I already have a lot of the strategy portions are needed for that. So, all right. Well, like I was trying to do earlier, I am going to call it quite a bit earlier than what I have historically, but I was just glad to get around, stop around because the scheduling snafus just kept on happening. So, do apologize for that. I think that I may honestly stick with this simpler format that I ended up going for here as opposed to my normal. Because the normal one that I'd been using was like a lot of stuff happening on screen at once, and I bet I know that portions of it were hard to follow and kind of go through it. So being sensitive to that, as much as I like having where I have all of my screens on screen, I do think that it's probably best for the sake of folks. If I just have the one, then I could be wrong. Um, I could be wrong. I would like to be, I would like some input if folks have an idea or not there. Um, because the thing is that even when we get to it's weird because there's certain areas where I mean I've got and I'll say it, it's not a soft flex or whatever, but I've got four monitors here, right? And as it is, there's this one that's processing stuff, was doing stuff on. There's the one on the left that I have some like we say you know documents that I'm referring to, right? And then there's the one on the right that's allowing me to monitor the stuff on OBS, and the one on the top is actually predominantly I'm doing a game of some sort. It's monitoring the site from a second computer, plus also taking the load off my primary system to an extent. But it's also where I've got my Trello tracking list, and I've got my the sort of nitty gritty, like what's where it works out on. I think that ultimately what I'll do is like if I'm doing more coding stuff that involves Trello, I'll have Trello as the focus in that one, and then like the website's really not the focus there, But with graphic stuff though, like the thing is that like with what I'm doing, like the graphic stuff, I live in a space where I'm like manipulating, you know, a given image, well generating images, and then like jumping between and so on. So um I don't know. It's kind of one of those interesting sort of like, um alrighty. So and I keep on trying to pull myself away, but I can't quite. I cannot quite. Just trying to think. Is there any other tools and targets and tools? Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I am doing right now. I guess I got to drift it off there. It happens to us all. Oh yeah, I'm looking at my to-do list. That's what I was doing. Um, so many things left to do. And there's just gonna be more added as time goes. All right. One more thing to look at. So I feel like there was one more thing. Because at the top, we'll see that we have now character builds rather than that, and then there's posts. And we can go to posts about stuff. Oh, that's gonna suck. That's gonna have to happen here. Oh, what the freak? Um, yeah, I just noticed something. That there's a very annoying thing there. I didn't see that before. Um, okay. Where is that coming from? Hmm. What is with those snippets? Well, this is a fun romp. Just kind of exploring down there. Sure. Let's see. Reading score is 11.13. You know what? If you have a problem with that, at 11.13, encounter is not a complex word. Utilize is not a complex word. Such as is not a complex word. Selection, prioritize, demonstrate, encounter, function is not a complex word. Maintain is definitely not a complex word. But complex action is a complex word. Pains. Anyway, just having fun with that. Yeah, that's annoying. The TOC needs some fixing too. All right, we're almost done for the night. Let's see. There's one thing I wanted to check here. Beyond me just kind of poking at something, but this does not have an excerpt, and therefore it's Discover 5 unique, etc. All right, so I'm gonna have to figure that one out. That, oh boy, that one gets complicated quickly. So, all right. Well, again, it's kind of a brief recap and closing because, as I said before, I do need to get moving, and moseying to bed because it's been a long day. Only Wednesday, right? Um, so we figured out, and I mean, I'm still super stoked about it. We figured out how to have it put as a footnote. And again, it's one of those things where it's so ridiculous that it took me so long to get to find out or to like to just see that simple checkbox. Um, but when you're running everything, right, you do miss some things. And the easy answer, especially after breaking down the build into the sub portions, right, like I did, um, well, here we are. So we now have this, and this is awesome. Um, because now there are the footnotes there. They have the classes in readily accessible manners, which the builds are readily accessible like now, which I wanted anyway. Um, it was never about like trying to get the extra click in or whatever interior. It was always about I couldn't figure out how to get it to do both, and I wasn't about to like just haphazardly push them into place because that's not where they belong. They belong on their own in a easily, you know, navigatable sort of well, glossary is the term I was using, but you know, lexicon or not lexicon. There's a specific word for it. I'm not sure what the specific word for it is right now, but in this sort of dealio, right? Um, where it's like you can look by the letter and so on, and it's organized by, or even just by the build, right? By the classes and by the build groups, right? Um, which there aren't any 3.5 character builds in there yet because they haven't been uploaded yet. But same thing with the Wilders. I thought we had Wilders. Huh. Well, if they're here, they should be here. Uh-oh. What? Oh, because they haven't been. Uh-oh. That's a problem. Um, that is a problem. I might have to talk to them about it. Um, shoot. Okay. Okay. Um, that is exceptionally weird. All right. So barbarian builds. Just not check it. Like, because the barbarian builds should show up. Really? Oh, I know what's going on. Haha. There they are. Barbarian build. So you have to. Oh, okay. So if I have to be an all. Little tricksy, but is okay. All right, so that was a heart attack. Good timing, right? All right, so yeah, the gist is that we have this stuff, which character builds, the only problem that I have is that it doesn't automatically, and I don't know how to make it automatically put me there. For now, it's okay, but I want to be able to go D&D 3.5 character builds and then have this drop down default to the character builds. And I don't know how to do that yet. And that was that was the actual question that got me here. Incidentally. Um, Darn it, I'm gonna get distracted here. I could afford a little bit though. Let's see. Well, I'm in glossary term, not in glossary index page. I decided to go to classic for that, which is the one that we're looking at there. I like it. Um, and let's see. Styling, which again we're not worried about. Extra description. Um, links differently. Move sharing box. Do the search in the index page. Use fast category search. Disable all categories. Show elements to search. What search does it do? Phrase, hide tags on the browser. Choose search. Choose an icon for search hint. Hide the categories on glossary index page. Show only relevant categories. Save user last select search away from title and description. Optimize search results order tags by item counts. Show which terms match. Ignore pre-selected letters and show all results on glossary list search. Paginate. Items per page. Nothing to server side ravage. Side only. Scroll to top. Play alphabetical index. Letters in any index. Go numeric. Show matching elements. Count in alphabet index. Round elements. What does as round elements mean? Select this option if you want to show the as round items instead of rectangles. No, we want our edges. I'm an edgy boy. Remember that? Instead of permalinks, limit items in the glossary page index, or stretch the index to 100%. Size of the alphabetical small. So all in the alphabetical. Actually, let's go with medium. I'm trying to use. But I do want to show letters that are not, not filled in yet. So, yeah, medium is better. I feel like though that I should change it to where it's for the index page, where it's like small tiles or something. Like the problem is that right now, like, yeah, I know what those names are, right? I know what those things refer to. The viewer has no chance. Somebody who just found their way here, like, well, the Raging Nomad build. What is this? Yeah, that didn't work. Um, Modern table. Let's find out what that looks like. Like, I like the straight list personally, but for random person who is not me, right? Um, that doesn't mean much. The Raging Nomad, the Berserker. Well, Raging Nomad, Berserker, what do these mean? Classic but plus excerpt. Save changes. Oh, there's no excerpt. Plus definition. Let's save it and see what happens. Right. Well, now it's classic plus definition. I get what I want, and you get what you want. Oh, what the heck? Well, let's see how this one goes. Surprisingly, not terrible, but not amazingly. Did I make any changes between there and now? I don't remember. Oh, I did, I think. Let me look. Refiner, refine, true, skip. Let me see. Over to the end. Face restriction. Load former. Size 555 by 563. Yeah, that's right. You know, strength 8. But it didn't really do a really great job making it into a open field. Hmm. Trying to think what it is. Let's try one more time on that. Let's see what happens. Let's see. So this does not seem to be doing well by me. Oh, I don't understand. Other than that, it looks gross. Just term carousel look like. I know I went through all of them at one point, but I'm just trying to like get a feeling. Hmm. Hmm. No, let's push the random button. Okay. Anyway. I don't know why. And shoot. Why I can't get it to do more. There's probably something stupid simple here. I'm not thinking through. Because I burnt all my mental juju out of. I have nothing left. All said. Alright. Just expands it. Alright, we're gonna put it back to classic for now. And then I'll have to play around with it some more later on. It's like it's not a terrible idea where I'm going at with that. Because again, this is useful to me, but what's a Lady of the Hunt? What's a Xerxenobite? I have ideas. Some great ideas with there. But viewers at home, what are they, you know? All right, now I actually am gonna get off and jump out and go. My goodness, I spent an extra 40 or 30 minutes than what I meant to.